Our keynote speaker today shares with you a passion for technology. He has a very, very broad experience. He has been a CIO for companies like PepsiCo, Dell, and Frito-Lay. He understands the increasing importance of the CIO as a professional and as an executive. As the former CIO at Dell, he was responsible for oversight of worldwide information systems and the infrastructure. But he played a broader role there and ultimately laid the groundwork for what today is an $8 billion IT services organization with 40,000 team members that he leads. There are very few people in the technology industry with this broad a set of experiences. He has served internal clients and he has served external clients, and he's been a member of top management repeatedly. He has a 30-year career. He's been a CIO, he's been a COO, he's been a president. He has seen it all. So today he will discuss with you his experiences and his key learnings throughout that journey. Please join me in welcoming Steve Schuckenbrock.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. Well, good morning. I am humbled by the introduction and for the opportunity to come speak to this audience. And frankly, I'm amazed because I've been to venues all over the world and I've never seen any gathering of leaders as impressive as this gathering. And I applaud the leadership that has put this together through the years and for the participants who really volunteer to create such a community amongst the IT leaders in Georgia. And so, I'm humbled to be a part of the team and to have the opportunity to talk to you, mostly because I truly love the profession of being a CIO, and the opportunity to be right at the crucible of enablement in everything your companies do, in harnessing change and harnessing technologies, and finding ways for breakthrough and breakout performance. And I had the opportunity to read a little bit about the finalists and see the introduction of the finalists in the room next door, and just want to extend my congratulations in advance to everybody. So well done. But I hope in the conversation I can impress upon you that we are at another one of those unbelievable inflection points that we've had so many times. And the inflection point really is going to require a different set of skills as we continue to evolve as a profession. When you look at this chart up here on the screen, I really think there's been 5 eras. And they happen to occur about every 15 years. The mainframe era, the distributed computing era, the client-server era, and the internet era. And all of them have been characterized with fantastic achievements. All of them have been characterized with new winners, companies that emerged that you'd never heard of before, and we can all list them. And also companies that were household names that you will never hear about again because they've begun to slide into the past. And few companies have actually risen to the challenge at each of those eras and distinguish themselves as leaders at each and every step. And I know we have some of those companies and some of my competitors in the room that have done that quite well. I do think, though, as we get into this virtual era, we are facing a new responsibility where efficiency gains are possible at a level that, frankly, haven't existed to this point. And we're going to be forced to standardization and forced to take the costs and take all of the opportunities that technologies like the cloud certainly bring to bear. And I think this new era is going to bring a new set of challenges to the organization. When you think about this era, having been a CIO before, I remember that I had different types of years. Some years were absolutely characterized by a drive for efficiency. Get the costs out. We're spending too much on IT. We've got to figure out a way to spend less, cut the budget, whatever the case might be. And we did, and all of you have, driven massive efficiency. I go back to 2008, just a few years ago. We had the crisis. All of a sudden, server volume jumped up like crazy. The reason it did is everybody finally took virtualization out of the test environment, moved it into the production environments, and began to take massive costs out of their operation through consolidation, standardization, virtualization, automation, all the things you know and love. But at the same time, now we're sitting here in 2011, and we've kind of run that hand out about as far as we can, and there's this pent-up demand and massive expectation for innovation and enablement of all of these capabilities that you also know and love. I think the years past where it was either efficiency or it was innovation are long gone, and the scale just doesn't work the way the scale worked in the past. I mean, if you think about it, there's now an expectation that you have to do both simultaneously. And I think the good news is that technology has changed to the point where that's actually possible. You think about business strategy, and I think when you consider the fact that business strategy and IT, even in the last decade, the separation between one and the other was basically zero. And CIOs like those here in the room had the opportunity to translate those strategies into very, very unique outcomes for the business. And the ability to wrestle with issues like globalization, standardization, process engineering, and various different innovations that are represented here in this room were phenomenal. Now, IT and the business are the same thing. How many of you work in at least some area of your business where there is no separation because, frankly, your business thrives and runs on IT? We now are in a situation where, a significant amount of our support experience for our customers is provided by other customers. They participate with one another to solve hard problems. They chat with one another through a facilitated venue that Dell sets up. And we have ourselves 15, 16 million users who interact with us through social media today. And so you sit back and you say, well, yeah, okay, that's kind of nice, it's chatty. The reality is we're now listening to them for new product ideas. We tap into that audience to tell us what we should be building and what we need to change. At the end of the day, I think these skill sets of knowing where technology can be played are not unique to the CIO anymore. Your peer group are so tech savvy now compared to where they were 5 years ago or 10 years ago that the challenges are now much, much greater to actually engage in business value and make sure that the language you're talking to them in is respectful of their knowledge and actually catapults from their knowledge into different types of outcomes that they may not see or be able to imagine. Efficiency is a given. And I know we've all had conversations about the ability to cut costs and drive your investment relative to your running the business spend to something like 50-50. And I'm sure many of you have made great progress and achieved those outcomes. But my take is that will be an assumption. And if you're not freeing up on a competitive basis at least 50% of your spend to drive disruptive innovation agendas, then frankly, we'll peril. For years and years and years, harnessing innovation for its effective use in a company has been the skill, it requires tremendous leadership skills. Now we get through these eras that I talked about before, and there's never been a point in time ever where the leadership skills of a CIO will make a bigger difference. The participation and the knowledge of the business strategies are more clearly defined when I sit down and talk to CIOs than when I talk to any other function in a company. And so we've been talking for years. We've had lots of conversations. Do you have a seat at the table? Are you participating in the leadership team? Are you an order taker, or are you an innovator? You know, frankly, those are yesterday's conversations. Innovation, 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 speed, speed, speed. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Get the costs out so that you can go faster. Embrace the paradox that standardization is actually the key to innovation and speed as opposed to the enemy of it. It's the reality. And my take is those people who can effectively communicate that and become the leaders will run the companies that you are currently supporting, if that's what you so desire. I am so proud of the IT profession. I actually think the leadership of this profession is phenomenal. I believe that we have spent 50 to 60 years building a basis against which we can effectively fill the expectations of IT. And the expectations of IT and the bar goes up and up and up, and we constantly talk about when will IT achieve. And it's the only profession in the world where the bar raises so dramatically every single year. But if you step back and you look at all that you accomplished, and you look at how far your companies have come, and you look at how your role is positioned, and you look at the opportunities of social media, look at the opportunities of business intelligence, look at the opportunities associated with cloud, virtualization, think about this notion of speed and acceleration of business outcomes, you're going to conclude that you're in the best position in the company, and the moment is yours. And I am absolutely thrilled to see our profession in this moment. And I'm looking forward to supporting you and helping you in any way that we possibly can, and want to again congratulate absolutely everybody in this room for creating such a phenomenal forum for the development of the leadership of IT, and a venue from small to large companies to participate and share. And I also want to congratulate those that will be recognized today. So thank you very, very much.